as we were there, one of the doctors who'd come to help people in Haiti, Dr. Eric Tam, comes from Denver Children's Hospital. He is a pediatrician there, works in the emergency room. He was extremely upset. And he sat at the entry, and let me also say, the entry of the house, where we were not allowed to all go in at once because just before we left for the broadcast yesterday, that other quake happened. That's called an aftershock, but we'll talk about that later, which can kill so many people because, well, it's 6.1. The earthquake, the first earthquake was 7.0. So he was sitting on the steps, and this is the story he told us.
I'm a pediatric emergency physician from the Children's Hospital in Denver. This is probably that. Hardest case I've seen so far. There's a 20-some-year-old woman out there that's a medical student in her medical school when the earthquake happened. Was buried alive for 3 days and survived by drinking of the blood of other people around her. And one of the fathers from one of the parishes around brought her to us this morning for further care. We put her IV in, and we're hoping to send her to a hospital that had intensive care capabilities. After circling around and probably an hour or so, they finally found the compound where these physicians were. And they took her in, and then they saw that she might have head injuries, so there wasn't much for her to do, so they brought her back here.
Can she speak?
She has been speaking. They said she's lucid.
How has this experience changed you being here?
I mean, I think it's going to take some time for me to absorb all this, and you saw this is the first time I've broken down since I've been here.
We followed Dr. Eric Tom back behind the house to a soccer field where as many as 1,000 people have taken refuge, where Patricia Cherie was, to talk to her. Tell us your name, how old you are.
Dis-nous nom et qui la joue.
My name is Patricia.
Do you speak English?
Nom c'est Patricia.
J'ai 23 ans.
Ok, moi j'ai 23 ans.
M'a souffert depuis longtemps.
Okay, I have been suffering for a long time ago.
Chaque fois que je passe, yo pas, yo ni bon, si bagay yo voye mal, yo méchant.
Chaque côté me passe, everywhere I go, they just give me something and just send me home, but without getting ready. They just bring me like this. That's why I'm
what
like that.
What happened to you? What
Qu'est-ce
happened?
qui passe même? C'est
In the earthquake?
L'école, si c'est fini, je suis sorti au tremblement de terre, je me regardais me tomber.
She learning nurse and one time and she just see the building fall down and all the rubber concrete fall on her.
C'est fini. Moi je suis dans deux chaises faire et il pressait tout pied moi.
And I was sitting on a chair and all the concrete fall on me. And the concrete all over my head. They cannot do anything for the head, and she probably goes somewhere else just to take care of her head, because everywhere she go they say no, nothing.
How did you survive?
Après quand elle a tombé sur moi, je senti une grosse force, mon laisser t'expliquer avec moi.
Okay. When she was under the concrete and she says that anyway I cannot stay here, I should do something to get out of there.
Qui te parle, Mich? Kounya même.
And then
depuis à 5 heures.
I was there since 5 o'clock in okay, 5 o'clock at night, and I get out at 11 o'clock.
Après ça, l'aime soif, m'appelle Jésus.
And I scream out calling Jesus. Okay, and I was thirsty, and then I just drink some water, and I find blood instead of water.
The blood
of the other students who were with her.
who had died.
Yeah, who died, yeah.
Si était nous-mêmes, moi, pas dans l'état ça.
She says that she already met you. She wouldn't be like this. She would get
Chaque côté moi passé, yo pas prendre soin moi.
everywhere she go, and they don't take care of me.
Yo mépriser ma mamie moi.
Okay, and they just give me something and say go home with my mother.
Non, c'est seulement mon beau Dieu sauvé. Oui.
She's the only girl who get out of there. All it died.
How old are you?
Quel âge?
23 ans.
23rd.
Parents vivent à l'étranger.
Okay, my parents living abroad.
Abroad.
Yeah.
Where?
Qui côté?
Washington.
Okay, Washington.
Oui, j'ai numéro de téléphone.
She has a phone number of the family.
You are an amazingly strong woman that you survived for this whole week.
quand même.
You are an important model of strength and courage
Você
for all of us.
modèle de monde, okay? Qui a pile courage. Okay?
Okay, we will call your father. And that's just what we did. That's Patricia Cherie, a 23-year-old nursing student who was caught in the rubble. She was at school with other nursing students. As she described the scene, the way she survived from, well, the earthquake hit at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. She was dug out the next morning at about 11 o'clock, those 18 hours. The dead students around her, she drank their blood to survive. Anything to survive. And now they are hoping to get her as soon as we could. We reached her father, Patricia Cherie. He lives in Columbia, Maryland, to talk to him, to say we'd been with his daughter, we touched his daughter, that she wanted us to call. He had a Creole interpreter there, and we just talked about his daughter to tell him that she is alive. We reached Dr. Eric Tam last night, the doctor who first told us about this story, late last night when we came back into the United States. And he said, in fact, Patricia has now been transferred to a Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders hospital or clinic for further treatment. And we will try to get the latest on her case to keep you updated. We were speaking to Patricia in the back of Matthew 25 house, where this house that's usually a place for some 35 visitors has now extended into the soccer field of about 1,000 people who are being treated in various levels, stages of injury, and others who are not injured, but who have come from their devastated homes, no place to go, or simply afraid that their home could crumble still. Everyone is sleeping outside. This is Democracy Now! We'll be back in a minute.